My wife faked a business trip. Her GPS exposed the truth. Hey Reddit, throw RA here. I never thought I'd need advice like this, but I guess nobody ever does until it's too late. I'm a 36-year-old guy from Oregon, married for 8 years to my wife, Tara, 34F. On the outside, we've been the couple everyone envied, good jobs, downtown apartment, date nights posted on Instagram, the whole thing. But lately, something's changed. Tara's always worked hard. Corporate marketing for a software company, lots of travel, conferences. Over the last 2 months, though, she's been distant. Late-night emails, more work dinners, a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. She's never been glued to her phone like this before, never this careful to keep it out of my line of sight. It all came to a head last Wednesday. Tara came home after midnight, tossed her suitcase down, and told me she had to leave for a last-minute 3-day business trip to Seattle. No warning, no details, just, it's important, everyone's going. I'll be back Sunday. She barely hugged me goodbye the next morning. Maybe I'm paranoid. Maybe the stress of her job is just getting to her. But after she left, I noticed her suitcase was lighter than usual. No laptop, no charger. And when I texted her the next night to ask about her hotel, she replied hours later, just a selfie in some lobby, blurry and rushed. That's when I felt it, deep down. Something was wrong. I just didn't realize how wrong. That first night alone, I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling. Tara and I always shared travel details. She'd send me pics from the airport, FaceTime me from her hotel room, send little updates about coworkers being annoying or how the conference food sucked. This time, radio silence. I tried not to obsess, but every hour that passed, my mind kept replaying little red flags from the past few weeks. She started locking her phone, even in the house. She'd come home with new clothes I'd never seen before, tag still on. She had an unexplained $400 expense on our shared card from some boutique hotel that wasn't in Seattle. I called her Friday night, just wanting to hear her voice. She let it ring, then texted, "Sorry, in meetings. We'll call you later." That call never came. Instead, she sent a random photo of a steak dinner. No people, no context. On Saturday, our friend just called me about a get-together the next day. She asked if Tara was back yet. No, I said. She's at a conference in Seattle. There was a pause. Weird. I thought her company's Seattle trip was next month. Ben's team isn't even traveling right now. That's when the knot in my stomach turned cold. Jess's husband works with Tara. He'd have known. I barely slept that night, running through excuses in my head. Work emergency? Surprise for me. But the lies started stacking up, and I finally realized I had to know the truth. Even if it broke me. Sunday morning, I sat at the kitchen table with coffee going cold, staring at Tara's empty spot. My mind wouldn't let it go. Her suitcase, the weird expenses, Jess's call. I knew I was about to cross a line, but the fear of being crazy was worse than the guilt. Tara had always kept her phone locked, but her iPad? She'd synced it to our shared Apple account months ago. Maybe she'd forgotten. My hands shook as I powered it up and logged in. Messages, nothing unusual. Photos, nothing recent. But then I opened the Find My app. My heart hammered. Her iPhone location was showing, but not in Seattle. It pinged from a small coastal town, Cannon Beach, 3 hours from home. Not even close to her supposed business trip. I zoomed in on the map, and in right on the waterfront. I searched the name. Boutique, romantic, perfect for couples getaways. My blood ran cold. I stared at the blinking dot, willing it to be a glitch. I texted Tara. "Hope your last day's going well. Still slammed with meetings." She replied almost instantly. "Exhausted. Can't wait to get home to you." I nearly dropped the iPad. There she was, lying to my face while her phone sat at a lover's hotel. For a second, I thought about driving there and catching her in the act. But I froze, fear, anger, heartbreak swirling together. Instead, I screenshotted everything and waited. I didn't know who she was with. I just knew everything was about to change. By the time Tara got home Sunday evening, I was a wreck, barely holding it together. She swept in with her usual travel-tired act, dropped her half-empty suitcase by the door, and kissed me like nothing was wrong. "How was Seattle?" I managed, my voice barely steady. She started describing generic conference stuff. Long meetings, networking mixers, the usual. I watched her closely, noticing tiny details. No conference badge, no new business cards. Just that familiar nervous energy she gets when she's hiding something. I tried to keep it together. Did you bring back any of those pastries from Pike Place like you always do? She blinked. Oh, they were out. Sorry, babe. My hands clenched under the table. I decided to push casually, but just enough. Funny, Jess said Ben's team isn't traveling until next month. Maybe you saw someone else? Her face flickered, just for a second. There were other teams there. Maybe a mix-up. She busied herself unpacking, her back turned to me. That night, when she fell asleep, I checked her purse. Hotel key card. Cannon Beach Inn. The same one from the GPS. I felt sick. She'd lied, straight to my face, about everything. And in that moment, all I could think was, who was she with? I wasn't sure I wanted to know, but I needed the truth, whatever it was. Sleep was impossible. I lay next to Tara, staring at the ceiling, running through faces, coworkers, old friends, strangers. I kept replaying her lies, that nervous blink, the empty stories. I needed answers. The next morning, I did what I never thought I'd do. I messaged Jess. Hey, totally random, but do you know if anyone else from Tara's company went to the coast this weekend? She seemed off when I asked about Seattle. Jess replied fast. The coast? I don't think so. Wait, Ben said Tara's been super close with that guy Mark from her office lately. He saw them grabbing lunch last week. Everything okay? Mark. I knew the name, mid-30s, just a friend, always the funny guy at office parties. I remembered catching a strange look pass between them once, but Tara brushed it off as work stress. I felt sick. My heart thudded as I opened Tara's laptop. She used the same passwords for everything. In her Gmail, I found it. A reservation confirmation for 2 at Cannon Beach Inn, under her name. The attached note. Happy to finally get away. Just us. M. The ground fell out from under me. It wasn't just a one-time slip. It was planned, careful, romantic. The lies went deeper than I thought. I took screenshots of everything, then sat at the kitchen table, numb, waiting for Tara to wake up. The hardest part was knowing this wasn't just a betrayal. It was a whole secret life, hidden right under my nose. When Tara came into the kitchen, I could barely look at her. She poured coffee, humming like it was any normal Monday. I finally spoke, my voice cold. How was Cannon Beach? She froze, mug halfway to her lips. What? I slid the screenshots across the table. Hotel confirmation, the GPS map, her messages. Her eyes went wide, then darted away. You went through my stuff? I almost laughed at the audacity. You lied. About Seattle, the conference, everything. I know you were there with Mark. How long has this been going on? For a moment, she tried denial. It's not what you think. Mark just needed a break, and I was helping a friend. I cut her off. A friend? With a romantic weekend. Just the two of you? Spare me. She broke down in tears, shaking, the whole thing. I'm sorry. I felt so lost lately, and you've been distant, and Mark listened, and it just happened. I never meant to hurt you, but I stared at her, numb. How many other lies have you told me, Tara? She cried harder. None. I swear, it's only been Mark. Please, let's work this out. I'll go to therapy, whatever you want. But it was all noise now. Excuses, manipulation, guilt. She begged me not to tell her family, to keep it quiet at work, to give her another chance. I felt empty. The only thing I knew for sure was that everything was different now, and there was no going back. I wish I could say I held it together, but I didn't. I packed a bag, told Tara I needed space, and drove to my brother's place across town. The minute I walked in, he took one look at me and knew something was up. We sat on his back porch, and I told him everything. He listened quietly, then just shook his head. Man, I always thought Tara was loyal. You sure? I showed him the screenshots. His jaw tightened. You don't deserve this, bro. News spread fast. Just texted, apologizing for not telling me sooner. She admitted she'd seen Tara acting off, but didn't want to get involved. My parents were heartbroken. They'd loved Tara like a daughter. Her parents called me, confused and worried, asking what happened. Meanwhile, mutual friends started taking sides. Some messaged me in private, angry at Tara, some urging me to work it out. Everyone makes mistakes. Mark stopped coming to work for a few days. Apparently, he was dealing with a personal emergency. One coworker even messaged me. I'm so sorry. I saw them at the coast Saturday morning. I thought you knew. I realized then that the web of secrets had been bigger than just us. People had seen things, guessed things, but no one had wanted to shatter the illusion. At night, I lay awake wondering how many people had known. What else had I missed? The loneliness was worse than the anger. For the first time in years, I honestly didn't know what my next move would be. The next few weeks were a blur. Lawyers, awkward conversations, paperwork I never imagined filling out. Tara texted constantly, apologizing, begging for another chance. She swore she'd end it with Mark, start counseling, and change everything if I just come home. I stopped replying after a while. Every message felt like reopening a wound. Mutual friends fell away in droves. Some tried to stay neutral, but neutral just meant silence. Just checked in sometimes, offering support, guilt heavy in her voice. My brother was my anchor, making sure I ate, pushing me to get outside, even when I just wanted to rot under the covers. Mark quit his job, or maybe he was fired. His wife, it turned out, filed for divorce the same week I did. There were rumors at Tara's office, whispers in the friend group, and sudden unfollows on social media. My parents tried to be supportive, but didn't know what to say. I could see the disappointment in their eyes, like I'd failed at something essential. Tara's family sent flowers, letters, and even offered to pay for couples counseling. But it was all too late. The apartment felt like a crime scene. I started packing up my things, every item a memory I didn't want. It hurt, but I knew clinging to the past would only keep the wound open. For the first time, I tried imagining life without her. It was terrifying, but also a tiny bit freeing. The truth was out. There was nothing left to hide. I moved out that month, signing a short-term lease on a small place downtown. The first night alone was brutal. No familiar scents, no shared routines, just silence and the buzz of city lights. I kept expecting to hear Tara's key in the lock, her laughter from the hallway, but all I got was my thoughts echoing back at me. Everywhere I went, the past haunted me. Our favorite coffee shop, the bookstore where we'd spent lazy Saturdays, the park where we talked about having kids. Sometimes anger surged up, at Tara, at Mark, and myself for not seeing it sooner. Other times, it was just grief, dull and heavy. Mutual friends faded away or sent awkward texts. Even Jess, who meant well, became distant. People like easy stories, happy endings. Nobody wanted to pick sides or sit with the mess. Therapy helped, eventually. I started going twice a week, mostly just to get the words out. My therapist said trust is like glass. Once it shatters, you can glue the pieces, but the cracks are always there. I hated how right that felt. Tara kept reaching out. Sometimes it was angry, tearful, sometimes just sad. I never responded. For me, closure came slowly, in pieces, folding the last of my old t-shirts, deleting anniversary photos, learning to enjoy silence again. I still wondered why, but I stopped blaming myself for not having every answer. Some things, I realized, you just survive. It's been almost a year now. Some days I wake up and barely remember what happened. Other days, the smallest thing, an old playlist, a missed call, the smell of Tara's favorite coffee, brings everything back. What have I learned? Trust your instincts. If something feels off, you're probably right. Technology revealed Tara's lies, but in the end, it was her behavior that spoke loudest. I spent so long doubting myself, rationalizing, letting her gaslight me because I didn't want to see the truth. If you're reading this and you're in a similar spot, here's my advice. Don't ignore the signs out of fear. Ask questions, even if you're scared of the answers. Don't let anyone make you feel crazy for needing honesty. Betrayal changes you. For a while, I thought it broke me for good. But now, honestly, I feel stronger. I have a better sense of who I am and what I won't tolerate again. It's not the life I planned, but it's mine. And I'm learning to trust myself again, piece by piece. If you made it this far, thanks for reading. You're not alone. People can lie, tech can reveal, but only you can decide what you'll do with the truth. Take care of yourself. And remember, sometimes letting go is the bravest thing you'll ever do.